I wait till after hours and I put in HVAC near me. And I see all the Google listings and I look at the guy that's paying for an ad that says closed. I call him the next day and I said, did you know that you just lost this much money? So you're paying Google to list you first, but yet you're not answering the phone. How many phone calls do you think you miss? So if you missed 10 phone calls and a typical job for you is $1,000, you just lost $5,000. Would you like me to fix that for you?
Welcome to Henderson HQ. This is the podcast where you get all the stories behind the businesses that make our community tick. Don't forget to subscribe to our weekly newsletter. All right, Henderson HQ family, welcome. Thanks for coming back to the podcast. Host Scott Groves here with my new friends, Lucho and Lisza. And they own a company which is very interesting. I went through their demo because we're in a mastermind group together called Automated Ranking Machine. And I didn't know what it did, and I wasn't particularly interested in it until I saw what it did. And then I was like, wow, this is actually a really great piece of technology for business owners. And I get asked to demo stuff all the time because I'm a business coach, I'm a business owner. I haven't seen anything like this that does what you guys do. So can you explain verbally without, have somebody having to look at the demonstration what, automated ranking machine actually does for businesses?
Yeah, so automated ranking machine is one of our products. The company is actually What Works Academy because we do what works. And what it does is automated ranking machine is for businesses that have a brick and mortar business, and it really automates and kind of gets your Google business profile on steroids. And what it does is it's based on how far will a customer travel to your store. And then if you are a service provider like an HVAC or electrician or a delivery service, how far will your vans or trucks go out to service a customer? So you can dominate that area. And that's the first thing we do. Then the second thing we do is our software researches all of your competitors and it borrows their keywords and it uses them on your profile. So now you're getting your competitors' customers to go to your profile. And then we also automate. Most business owners are too busy. So when somebody gives you a Google review, you need to reply to it, because if you don't reply to the review, Google sees it as you're not paying attention to your customer. So we're not going to show you as a provider. But the problem is most people either don't reply at all, which is seen as a negative review, or if they reply, they go, oh, thank you so much, Scott. It was so wonderful working with you. Okay, this is a Google review. What the hell does Google do? It's a search engine, right? So instead of just saying, hey, we love you so much, thank you so much, right? You have to say, hey, thank you for using ABC HVAC, the best HVAC in Las Vegas. So when people are Googling the best HVAC in Las Vegas, your name pops up. Or I think we have a girl who just signed up with us that has alkaline water. So instead of saying, thank you for coming to our water store, she'll say, hey, thank you for coming to our alkaline water store. And I'm so glad that it helped you with your psoriasis or whatever it was. So when people are looking help with psoriasis, that pops up because it's a Google review and it's searching in Google, right? And because now Google has become AI smart, it also does what we call AEO, which is answer engine optimization. And again, business owners are busy, so they can't do post. And you have to do a post in your Google business profile regularly to increase the ranking. We take care of that for you. And by the way, we'll also post it in Facebook and in Instagram.
So how did you come across this business, Lisza? Do you guys have a tech background or a business background or all the above?
We are tech geeks. We are both tech geeks through and through. For over 30 years, both of us have extensive tech background. I used to run law firms and I was the IT manager as well as the administrator. So I really was getting into computers when they were just coming out a very long time ago. He worked at some of the top hospitals and really understood the big systems and how the systems run. And then when we started our company in 2003, we were really developing and bringing together the software that we wanted. Like, how are we going to best run our company? And so we started, with kind of a smaller system and a process, and it has evolved over these 22 years to now where we actually are a full-on agency. We are what's called a SaaS agency, software as a service. And so we provide in a variety of different manners, but we both love it. We dive into it, like, what can it do and how can we get better? And, what's the newest and greatest thing? And, AI is changing and moving so fast. It's just on hyper warp speed. that we have to stay current on it. Like we have to stay ahead of the game in order to help our customers stay ahead of the game and be found, and utilizing tools like this that we can help them implement to be found, right? When nobody else is doing.
And a business owner is busy running their business. They're not going to be up on the latest AI. Right. They think that Siri and Alexa is AI.
Right.
And yeah, that's AI from 2018. But right now, AI can answer your phone. It can schedule appointments. It can answer frequently asked questions. It can screen for, spammers on your phone. It's amazing. And one of the things that most businesses need is a website. Well, a website is great, but you have to have a way to capture people. And that's why the Google Business Profile allows you to capture people. They can call your office, your business from their Google profile. They can text you from your Google Business Profile. So it's as important, if not more so, than your website. And we also help optimize your website for search engine optimization all automatically, so you don't have to do anything. Most people don't know what all of that is. They're ready to go to schema. Nobody knows what that is. Don't need to know about it because we fix it.
So I think about starting this business in 2003, right? Like every Wall Street Journal article I see and all the Instagram posts and everything about how much everything's changing for AI. Yeah, that's true. But also since 2003, you guys have seen the rise of Yelp, Facebook reviews, Facebook Marketplace. Like, yes, I think AI is going to change the world in a lot of ways, but business is always changing. Every time I go to a conference every 90 days, there's some new thing. So what is like your product evolved over time? Like, where did you start? Were you just building like the basic website for people, where did you start and where are we now? Because I know you guys will do everything for a business.
Yeah.
Like this is the entry drug for the client.
So we're not website builders per se. It is a skill set that we can offer, for our clients, but we never came from the website building side. We came from the business management side. We're business strategists. So it was like, what systems make the most sense? So back in the day, before that we have what we have now, we helped companies actually put together the best of the best based on their business and based on their goals. So many times we saw businesses being oversold, right? Being sold this Mac Daddy of a software program. And they're like a 2-person operation, and it was way too much. And that was one of the things that drove us absolutely crazy, because it was like, you don't need that much. Like, let's start with where you're at and something that has the capabilities to expand and scale to what your goals are. So in the beginning, we were helping companies really clarify that and clean up being oversold all the things.
Pick the right thing.
The right thing. So we help them say, well, based on what you need this piece, you need this piece. And we would help them develop it and put it together. But as time passed, we kept saying, there's got to be a better solution. Like, there's all these pieces. There's got to be like a all-in-one. Like, how can we get this so that it's easy for a business owner to say, like, I need a command central where I run everything, right? Because we still see this today, where they have 5, 10, 12, 25 different apps and programs and softwares that they have to log in and run and access to get it to communicate to each other and send information. And that's absolutely insane these days. Like, it's not needed anymore.
Yeah.
And so
when one of them breaks, they don't know which one it is.
Yeah, break. Yeah. You don't know where it was. Like, you have to figure it out, and you're wasting so much time with all these different, pieces. And so we knew about almost 7 years ago now, we were like on the search, like, we've got to find a process or a system that can do this. And we found that almost 7 years ago. And then we started testing it for our company first. And we did an entire year of running everything through it, putting everything and consolidating and bringing in, and we had a lot of softwares, bringing everything into one and testing it. And we're like, this is brilliant. Like, this is amazing. And then we improved upon it. And then we started bringing our clients on it. Then we started bringing the clients and really being able to expand it, making sure it worked across different scenarios, right? Different options. And then we created a monster, because there we just went full SaaS agency and bringing in, more options, but being able to consolidate everything into one place. So a business owner can go log into one place and literally run their entire operations.
Interesting. I'm thinking about
that.
I'm thinking about the problem of businesses, because like I coach a lot of small businesses, but then in my world, I've always worked in mortgage, very large companies, right? So it's like the kind of two bookends of problems is like, you're a small business that buys, some overbuilt $500 per month CRM. And then the business owner is like, well, the good news, it does everything. The bad news is it does everything. So I'm not even going to get started because it just feels overwhelming. So that's on one side. And then on the other side, when it comes to having worked at very large companies, we actually, I think I coined this term, the daisy chain of fuckery, because you did have like 13 different systems. You know, there were times in the mortgage business, because they're habitually 10 years behind in technology, I would have a full-time assistant just to take data from here, put it in over here. Okay, make sure it's on this sheet over here. Oh, but you want to build a marketing flyer for that realtor? Okay, well, now we got to go over to this system. Oh, we don't have their information in there. Take it from over here, plug it in over here. I mean, it's just
That's it.
the number of times I've cut and pasted a headshot is like astronomical. And I'm like, why am I getting paid to do this? Like, a technology should do this for me.
It should, and it does.
And you know what? It does it even better than you could at the beginning,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Because it's just unbelievable the things we could do. I mean, you can have one headshot and generate unlimited numbers of different things you're doing different things, right? Like holding a product or driving a car or showing a helm that isn't even there. So it's really cool what you can do with technology. And then back to the business that has a brick and mortar location, they need traffic. They need people coming in. They need to be seen. And right now, they're busy running their business. You're a one-man band or one-woman band. You can't be posting and emailing and replying and all of that stuff. So you need to automate all those things so you can actually take care of the customers that are in your business, in your store.
Yeah.
But you got to get butts and seats or people into the store. So that's what we help them with.
I have a friend that's starting a business for this, for people that have basically are thought leaders, and maybe they have one channel. They're really good at writing a newsletter, or they're really good at doing a weekly podcast. And he's like, the problem is even if you're doing the best podcast in the world, you're Joe Rogan and you have millions and millions of subscribers. Okay, cool. But do you have a newsletter? Do your highlights go on Medium? Are you posting the pictures from the podcast on Instagram? It's like having to be everywhere at the same time. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
So how do you guys solve for that, where like kind of businesses have to be everywhere or they end up being nowhere, right? Because I've picked service providers off of Yelp, off of Facebook Marketplace, off of LinkedIn, all of the things. So how do you guys work with businesses to frame that?
Well, first of all, we want to find out where their customers are. That's the most important thing. It's not about where they want to be. It's about where their customers are. Are there customers on Facebook? Are your customers on Nextdoor? Are your customer, like, where are they looking? That's the starting point. Once you know where they're looking, then you can develop your marketing for where they're looking. And you don't have to be on all of the platforms, by the way. Like, pick one or two or maybe three max. That's it. Just focus on those, get super good on those, be committed on those, be consistent. And that's where the people are going to find you. Yeah.
And then once you have that automation, right? Because they're not going to be able to post on all those things.
Right.
So a freaky example, we have in one of our masterminds, we had a hot seat where, different businesses come in and go, here's the issue we're having. So I'm working with this guy that has this high-end book on retirement investment. And he goes, we're doing okay selling the books, but there's no back end. So he wanted to talk about the back end. We're like, yeah, a book is a lost leader. And it's like, well, we're doing, I think it was $38,000 a month selling a $39 book. And we're like, what the fuck? Because nobody makes money selling books, right?
No. And I confirm, I wrote with.
Yeah.
Lost leader.
Get this. Who do you think's buying these books? If you're retired and you want to invest money, right?
Right.
Where do you think they're selling it? Like, you'll never
guess.
I would have guessed Amazon, but apparently not.
TikTok. TikTok is where he's selling books. And also, you're selling books on, it was like, wait a minute. So it turned out, instead of us helping him, it was like he was teaching us what he was doing on TikTok.
Like, we had a room full of entrepreneurs who were blown away on this. And we're all,
my retirees are on TikTok. Or is this their kids buying the book for, though?
No, they figured out a way. And what was the numbers they were doing? Like hundreds of thousands a month.
On selling a book.
On a like a $20 book.
No, it was $39. It's an expensive book, but it's for people who have disposable income that need to do something with their money, right?
And he doesn't even have a back-end offer. No back-end offer. This guy's crushing it. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is insane. So yes, it was a learning moment.
So the example for this, would he need to be in Facebook? Probably not.
Right.
Would he need to be in YouTube? I don't know. I don't know if that population that's spending $39 on a book and then has the potential to invest millions of dollars in retirement funds or whatever it is, these financial, what do you call them, offerings that they have, right? Whether they hang out in those places or not. So a good way to test it is, hey, let's see what's working on TikTok. Well, now let's try it in Facebook and Instagram and see if we get any traffic. And if we don't, then let's not waste our time there. So yes, you do need to be omnipresent, be everywhere, but you need to keep an eye on and track on, well, out of all these places I'm in, which one's getting me a return on my investment? Because otherwise I'm pissing away money and time and effort that I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So,
One of the things when you're coming on here, you're like, oh, well, we're going to be on the podcast. I'll just set up like my website as an affiliate page. And then, if anybody buys your services, I'll take you out to dinner. I'm like, oh, that's cool. For me, that task seems so daunting. Like for you, I'm sure it was clicking 2 buttons, but I'm like, wait a minute, to set up like a lead funnel or like an affiliate link so I know what business is coming from TikTok versus Facebook versus Instagram. Like as a business owner, I consider myself pretty smart. I know how to turn on my computer. That just seems daunting.
yeah.
So I don't even know if there was a question there, but I was
We help
like,
keep it simple. We help keep it simple. How about that?
yes, there we go.
We actually have an entire program called Simplify to Scale because exactly all this, but just like you said, as a business owner, all of this is overwhelming. Our role and our responsibility is to help you simplify your systems and your processes so that you can focus on what you do. Because get rid of all the extra stuff.
So do you have any eye-catching numbers of like businesses that you have helped increase revenue or scale revenue? Because I imagine with your guys' expertise, there's probably a few little tweaks you can bring into the system that will bring giant results, right? So do you have any success stories you want to brag about?
With these automated ranking machines, we had a trucking company that does moving stuff like that, and they had 20 trucks. So we had a strategy where we made 20 locations. There's a way you could do that in Google legally, and that increased their income by $1.2 million the next year. So that's with this system right here with the automated ranking machine.
I hope you took a percentage of the business and not just like a couple $100 a month.
Yeah, right. And that's sometimes one of the things we'll do is we'll say, hey, well, based on how much we increase, we'll get this percentage because then, so sometimes we'll have where they pay less than what we usually charge in exchange for a percentage of ownership of a company or of the income.
Increase in sales.
Yeah.
But then we have another system, which is actually our profit accelerator, and you can talk about that.
So it's another AI-based process that we do. And we work more with like service professionals, financial advisors, attorneys, health professionals, things like that. And we have helped, we have several attorneys it's very effective for, and also marketers increase anywhere from 150 to 200,000 in their second month of the program, additional income added to their bottom line.
And this is just from helping people find them.
Correct.
It's helping find the leads, turning them into qualified appointments and getting these appointments on their calendars and schedules. So we do all the automation of going out, finding them, connecting with them, interacting with them, right? Building relationship, all done by AI. And then getting to the point where they're interested enough and they're looking for a solution that we can provide the solution that we get them on a booked call with their sales team. Start to finish.
For many years, we provided leads, but you've been in business long enough. What do people do with leads?
They don't call them.
Absolutely fucking nothing.
I'm yelling at my coaching clients all the time.
Exactly. So instead of getting them the leads, what we do is we have a questionnaire, right? A really thorough deep dive into who's your ideal prospect. What is it that you want? What do they do? What are all the things? And then we have our AI do deep research until they find those people. And it gets to the point where the AI is so amazing. Like when we're going after attorneys, our AI reached out to this one attorney and goes, hey, congratulations on the XYZ award that you received on whatever, December 17th or something. And the guy's like, oh, I never received that award. What are you talking about? The AI went and got the link and sent him like, oh, here's the thing that you got. And he was like, oh my God, thank you. I've been wanting that. I never thought I got it. To that point, it'll say, hey, Scott, we noticed that you were on a podcast and you were talking about red apples and we grow red apples. We'd love to know if there's something we can do together. And you're like, so it's not like, hi, Mr. Scott, I know that you work for ABC company. We could do 1, 2, 3 for you. No, it's really intelligent, deep dive information that it does deep research, whether you've written a book or
comments on your posts. If you went on vacation, whatever, it has the ability to go in and just build relationships that, again, as business owners, we don't necessarily have time to do that right now with people that we don't know. And so it gets to the point where they then are choosing. So again, you're not chasing them, they're chasing you. They're choosing to want to learn more because you can solve a problem that they have. And then they book the call.
So selfishly, I have a case study that I would love your feedback on. For years, because the National Association of Realtors is like the most powerful special lobby in America. I could talk about that for hours, but anyway, we'll just leave it at that. They're a very, very powerful lobby. And so they've done a great job of convincing the consumer, like, oh, I go find a realtor and I go find a house, and then I guess I got to get money to buy the house. And it's like, I have been trying for years to tell all mortgage brokers, loan officers, mortgage companies, hey, instead of like fighting with each other, why don't you just present a united front message to the consumer? They're like, hey, your search for a home actually starts with a loan officer. Like, I don't know, you should probably know what you can spend before you buy a house.
Yeah.
So it's like, how would you guys go about, questioning me or my partner, Leah, about how do you find the people that might be looking to buy a home or a mortgage? Like what interview process would we have? Walk me through a couple of the steps.
So basically, there's most likely a specific demographic of people who are buying homes. Like we were pre-2008, we were real estate investors. We had 11 properties, and then 2008 came and
little bit of whole time. Yeah.
But most people are not like us. They're not buying 11 properties, right? They want one house, and they're typically a certain age and a certain demographic and a certain income. So we can identify those people based on that, and they're actually doing certain things. They're probably looking already, and they're choosing that.
Yeah.
One of the AIs that we have is it can monitor your ISP, your internet search provider, internet service providers, whether you're using Cox or Link, whatever it is, right? And when they type in realtor near me or how to buy a house, it follows them until they make two decisions that are, like for one of our attorneys is Vegas injury attorney. So if somebody types in Vegas injury attorney, our AI follows them and they consume two relevant pieces of information. They go to other attorneys' pages and they're looking. It gets their information, first name, last name, email, address, where they file their taxes, what their income is, how many people live in their house, whether they have children or not, whether they donate money, what magazines all that stuff. And we create a Google spreadsheet on that. And then you can send them a little postcard with information. You can also pick up the phone and call them, but that's kind of creepy. Say, hey, Scott, we saw that you were searching for a house and we're here to help.
I mean, that's the way we're going, right? Like Big Brother's watching everything.
Yeah. What we did with the injury attorney is like, hey, we're your neighborhood injury attorneys. We're just calling around our neighborhood to introduce ourselves. And they're like, oh my God, I was just searching for that. You don't say. We're monitoring your Google search and we know exactly what you're looking for. But yeah, or you can just send them a postcard with HVAC, with air conditioning, right?
Just market to the people who are looking.
I feel like simultaneously violated and invigorated. It's like, this is the way it's going and can't stop it. And it's awesome.
Have you ever been at a friend's house and talked about something and then you go home, you log into Facebook and boom, there's an ad about that? How do you think they've got?
For sure.
Yeah.
Let's just say before my wife, I had dated a lot of women in my time. And somehow, some way, 4 months into the relationship with my wife, Facebook knew there was something different about this. I started getting advertisements for wedding dresses and engagement rings, and I had not searched for any of that stuff. I had not looked for it. I had not told anybody I was thinking about proposing a couple months into our relationship, but somehow like the algorithm knew through either number of pictures we were posting together or our age demographics. Maybe it's like, hey, this is the one. And I was like, oh, that's not like predictive marketing. That's like prescriptive marketing. It's telling me what I need. And it was like, it's making me squeam my chair. Cause like when I saw that, I was like, the universe, the God's not telling me to marry my wife, but Facebook sure is.
Maybe she was searching for her dresses and you were getting, because when she searches for stuff, like I log into my Amazon and we have the same Amazon and I see a dress there. I was like, I never look for a dress, but I know that's what she's looking for. Right.
Right.
So, right. But yeah, so it's a way to where you can identify who's the ideal person that would be ready to buy a house. And also you look at their income, right? Because if they can't afford a house, then there's no point in going there. It's like your point exactly. You should first talk to a broker to see what you can afford.
Right.
Yeah, and also you're going to have different results based on what kind of properties you have too. Maybe you have an apartment complex, right? So you're looking for investors, not necessarily looking for someone who's buying a single family home. So those are the things that we would want to find out from you. What are you focused on? Or does your client base focused on? So if they're investors, that's a whole different search model versus the single family homes and again, what are the price points that they're in? So it's just very customized based on what you're looking for, who your ideal client is. And that's what it's always based on the ideal client.
Yeah.
Would you say that mortgage brokers use typical different types of software?
Yeah, there's probably 4 or 5 industry leading softwares in the business. But I mean, really, if you're looking at people's IP address, people start looking on Zillow and Redfin normally about a year before they buy, right?
Exactly.
So it's like if you can get to the high hanging fruit instead of the low hanging fruit, because once they say they want to buy, they're inundated with ads, and and then it's just a race to the bottom on who has the best rate. But if you can get to them a year out and be like, hey, when you're ready, let's just have a conversation and get your ducks in a row, that could be super powerful, right?
What I was going for is if you work with mortgage brokers and you know that they're using a specific type of software, we can search for people that are using that software and then offer them a better software or offer them your coaching services because you know they're using that software, so they need help. So that's how, if you use ClickFunnels or if you use Go High Level or if you use Infusionsoft, sometimes you'll get an email that says, hey, are you paying XYZ for Infusionsoft? We had a client that had 389,000 contacts and she was paying Infusionsoft $2,500 a month just because she had that many contacts. We brought her over to our software. She only pays us $400 a month because we don't charge her for contacts. We only charge her when she sends out an email or a text message. And she's never emailing or texting all 384,000 of them. Where 1,000 emails cost her 67 cents, as opposed to just having to pay for parking her contacts in the CRM.
Yeah.
So you could do something similar if you know that mortgage brokers use XYZ software and they either need help with that or because they that they use that software that they could use coaching on how to be a better mortgage broker. You can reach out to them and say, start that conversation. They were like, well, how do you know a mortgage broker? Well, your profile, your LinkedIn, whatever, but deep down inside, we know it's because you're using XYZ software. And we know that that's sucking the life out of you because you don't know how to use it.
That's fascinating. I want to shift gears a little bit for maybe like the business owners that are thinking about owning a business, thinking about starting a business, thinking specifically about working with their spouse, because you guys have been married for 20 plus years, been working together the whole time, living together the whole time. You seem very happy together when you walked in here today, so you don't hate each other over business. Like, what is the secret there? Because my wife would make the world's best ops manager. She's amazing. She used to be an ops manager for a nonprofit. She now runs the school that our kids go to. Shout out to Apogee Henderson. But I can't imagine working with her. Like, I think I would be a horrible boss to her. I think we would fight. It would cause marital problems. So can you talk us through a little bit of like how you divide duties, how you guys stay happy as a married couple who's also living together and working together and growing a business together and traveling together and doing tech research together, which every time I have to reset my password, I tell my wife, you need to leave the room because I'm going to kill somebody and I don't want it to be you. So like, how have you guys threaded that needle?
Two things. One of them is divide and conquer. So she's the expert when it comes to like social media. I freaking hate it. But I'm
the business strategist. I'm really the strategy person.
And when it comes to automation and AI, that's my jam.
So you're the real nerd and you're the thinker.
I can here, do this. Cross your hands like this.
Yeah.
So what thumb is on top?
The right one.
So your right thumb is pointing to your left brain. That means that you are somebody who looks at all the small details leading to the big picture. That's her too.
Okay.
I'm the other way around. Right? My thumb on top is pointing to my right side of my brain, which means I see the big picture and then I want all the small details.
Yeah, this feels very uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah. So when ask your wife to do that, and if you want to explain something to her, do it based on how her brain is wired. Right. So if I want to explain something to Lisa, I go from the small details into the big picture. If she wants me to understand something, like, hey, we want to make money. That's a big picture. So we're going to do some Facebook ads to this webinar that we're offering our AI automation or our AI, what do we call it?
Growth ecosystem.
Growth ecosystem that we just launched this month, which includes all the stuff that we do in one big bundle. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But if I want to talk to her, I'd have to say, okay, we're going to use a credit card to do some Facebook ads so that we can get some traffic to get to the webinar that we're going to sell this, that, and the other, because that's how her brain would act.
Yeah.
And then through neurolinguistic programming, which is the technology that this big, tall guy with big teeth called Tony Robbins uses to motivate people, there's something called chunking up and chunking down. So if we take it to a relationship instead of a business, right? And you and your wife are down here in the minutia fighting about the color of the carpet or what the hell you're going to do, is you chunk up and you say, okay, well, we're in a relationship because we love each other. And we got married X number of years ago because we want to help each other and we truly care about each other. So when you're up here, what really matters is that you love each other. And since I love you, what is it exactly about this carpet that's going to make you happy? Right. So when you take it up here, but when you're right here and beating heads together, that you're never going to resolve it. Like you can't solve a problem at the level it was created. Right.
Say that again for the people in the back.
Cannot solve a problem at the level it was created. And I think that was Einstein that said that, or something similar to that. So when you're in the fighting thing, that's not, you have to go up and say, and that works really where, when I used to help people that were going through a divorce, right? Look, you got married at one time because you loved each other. So that's what's important. You guys loved each other at one time. And if now, and you also wanted to make each other happy. So if now things aren't working out, well, you still love this person. You want them to be happy, release them, let them go and be happy so you can be happy as well. And know that, hey, while we loved each other and we were together and things worked out, it was great. But as things didn't work out, it was okay to go our separate ways because we want each other to be happy, right? So now you can resolve that issue about, I hate you because of this. Well, at one point you didn't, or you would have never gotten married.
Right. Instead of going 5 rounds over this table, who's going to get the table? We can just be like, hey, what's the big picture? It's so funny you mentioned the chunking up, chunking down, and then how you guys communicate back and forth, going to the big to the small. Because in my business, I'm very much in the small details. In my life, I don't want to think about it. So I'll be like, honey, let's go to Hawaii. She'll be like, cool. She's like, any guidance? I'm like, no, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And then she's the one that's like, okay, well, we'd have to take a Southwest flight. So then we have to use this many points. So then she's super good at going like details to big picture. And then she gets there and they're like, oh, we're in Hawaii. And I'm just like, whatever, we're going to Hawaii. It'll figure itself out. Like we sleep in the van, like we eat hotel room.
Yeah. We call that either being a right brain lead or a left brain lead. Just like when you walk, you can't take a step with your left leg and then keep taking because you go in circles, right? So you use certain size of your brain, the right hemisphere, the left hemisphere, for specific things, right? Just like the way that you would make a decision to buy a car is different than how you would decide to date somebody when you were single or to buy a house. You're still making a decision to buy something or to acquire something or to do something, but the way that you think about it is different. That's why for some things, you may be all small details leading to the big picture, but then it's like, Hawaii, fuck it, let's go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And the rest will take care of itself, right?
Right.
So it's based on that situation. And that's one of the mistakes that people make. We teach people how to elicit somebody's decision-making strategies, right? Have you made a big purchase recently?
Yeah.
What did you buy?
We bought a truck about a year ago.
How did you decide to go ahead and buy the truck?
How did I decide or how did my wife decide for me? Those are two very different questions.
Tell me the story of when you bought the truck.
I was like, ooh, I like that big blue truck.
Okay, and you liked it, why?
I don't know, it just looked tough.
Okay, so it looked tough. That's visual, right?
Yeah.
And once it looked tough, what did you do? You went and test drove it or you?
Yeah, test drove it. And then I was like, I like the truck. I think I'm going to buy it. And then my wife digs into all the details.
Okay, so it looked tough. That's visual. And then you test drove it.
Felt comfortable.
That's
Rode high on the road. I liked it.
So when you test drove it, that's called kinesthetic. That's how it feels. And then you liked it. That was also kinesthetic.
Yeah.
So if I was to show you a truck that when you sat in the engine did that humming noise that just made your body feel great, and you took it for a spin and it just felt like the best thing in the world, would you be interested in buying that?
Yeah, of course.
You just bought a fucking truck. You don't need one, right? I just sold it to you. I just sold it to you based on how you make the decision, right?
Right.
But if I say, look, if there was a truck that just felt right, and then when you looked at it, it was beautiful, you're not even breathing. You don't care because I was giving it to you backwards from your buying strategy.
Right.
But the mistake people make is they think, oh, the way that Scott buys a truck is the way that I can sell him this cup.
Right.
No, they're two different things, or the way that I can sell him a house. So we elicit how somebody makes a buying decision, and then we feed him the information in that same sequence. It's kind of like when you were in high school and you had a locker that had 3 numbers in the column. You had to get those 3 numbers in the right order or the thing wouldn't open.
Right.
Right? Same thing when you're buying. You have typically visual, auditory, kinesthetic. You either, I saw something and I liked it, then I did some research and read up on it, and then I talked to my buddies, that's auditory, and then I talked to the salesperson, and then I sat in and it felt great, so that's visual, auditory, kinesthetic. I looked at it, I talked about it, and then I felt it. Right? And some people the other way around, they first need to feel that comfort, and then they go and they research the shit out of it, and then they go and look at it.
Yeah.
So based on those things, we teach people how to, it's not tricking somebody, it's about providing the information they need in the way that it makes sense to them in their brain so they can make a buying decision.
Yeah.
Right? As long as it's congruent, as long as you are delivering what they want, right? So what's truly important to you about a business? XYZ, if I can provide XYZ, we can do business. If you want XYZ and I can only provide X and Y, I'll say, listen, I can't do Z, but my buddy here, Bob, can help you with Z. That's doing business the right way. Not saying, oh yeah, I can do everything. And then like when you hire a VA and like, oh, we can do everything. And then they go figure out how to do it after you sign up.
Right.
That's not the way we teach people to do business. And that's the way that we don't think you should do. So.
So to get back on the topic.
No, it's great. It's great. Because I have like 9 follow-up questions, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so to bring it back, because he goes on tangents.
You are the same.
Yeah. What I was going to add to that is how we have made this work for over 20 years is giving each other the space to go on tangents. Anyway, we have a lot of fun. That's the main thing. We have a lot of fun. I will share a really interesting process that happened because we had been, how long had we been in business when we hit a pandemic, 2020? So we'd been in business 15 years, more than that, so 18 years. And we've always been able to create our business. We create our own economy. We travel when we want to. We go, we do business trips. We do, we have a lot of autonomy. And when 2020 happened, when the pandemic shut everything down, it was really interesting because the first 3 months, we had already been on Zoom since 2009. Like, it wasn't a big change for us.
Right.
But all of a sudden, 3 months in, we realized that we were literally working all the time, like 24/7. There wasn't anything else to do, right? What else could we do? So we were just working, and we'd zero any other activities happening at all. And finally, at 3 months, we were like, okay, we have to make a plan that once a week we go for a hike, or we're getting out of the house, or we have to physically make, a decision to do something different, to step away from their desk. And
you have to be married, right? Now, just back part here.
Right. We were literally just in our offices working the whole time because there was nothing else to do. It was either that or watch TV. So we were like, no, might as well keep working. And, 3 months of that was enough. And then we realized we needed to have breathers, right? We needed to take opportunities. And so we just were very conscious in having, changing our state, right? Making time so that, yes, we had an actual relationship here. While we couldn't go do all the things we were used to doing, we made a concerted effort to step away because it got contentious a bit during those 3 months because there just was no break.
Right.
That we were used to. So we had to recognize that, and we had to make a conscious decision to change it. So I will share, that was probably the only time in all 22 plus years that we've ever really,
got on each other's nerves.
Yeah, got on each other's nerves, but it was because there was no alternative for a little while. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I want to ask Lisza, I know you guys, just like me, moved up here from Southern California.
Yeah.
What specifically brought you to Henderson?
When we first started, I have degrees in food science, human nutrition, exercise kinesiology, and I worked in hospitals for many years as a dietitian. And then I developed the first nutrition certification for the health and fitness industry. That was a CEU accredited course. And so we started certifying people in nutrition. And then I developed nutrition software. And then I realized, they have the tools, but they don't know how to sell themselves out of a wet paper sack. So we developed a 3-day event called Monetize Your Nutrition Knowledge. And we did events here in Vegas. So we kept driving to Vegas 2-3 times a year to do a 3-day event. And, you spend a shit ton of money in hotels and all of that back then. And again, when you did an event, you have to get the room, and then you have to guarantee a certain number of rooms.
Yeah, you have a food and beverage spend. You have
all that stuff, right? So we were killing it. We're doing great. But we kept driving back and forth. And one time we were here getting ready for an event at a friend's house, and she was flipping through a newspaper or magazine.
I was flipping through paper, just, hanging out. And I started looking at the houses and the prices on the houses. And I'm like, we were from Southern California. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is crazy. And so then we kind of started looking. I'm like, what do you think about, let's flip it. Instead of living in California and coming out here, why don't we move to Nevada, and then we could travel back to California for our clients? Why are we staying there? The taxes were killing us, right? The taxes were absolutely killing us. Yet we were doing really well, but why put all that back into the taxes? So we actually had to come out here. That trip was to meet with the tax our tax guy, because we wanted to move our corporation from California to Nevada. That's what we were doing. Right. So we decided to, and everything started to shift, and it just made sense to flip it. And we found an amazing home here in Southern Highlands. It was just knocked out, and we started doing events there. We made the decision. We found the house, and we moved here 30 days later. It was that fast.
That was amazing. It was 2011, and the economy here in Vegas was not doing well. And it was a $1.7 million home that we were able to rent for $2,400.
Yeah,
smoking
on the 7th tee of a private golf course.
Yeah, not bad.
in a guard-gated community. And we're like, yeah, this is it. This is the spot. And it was a no-brainer. We, tax purposes, it was brilliant for us. He wasn't sure he could survive the summers. He was like, 1 year, we're going to try it out.
Yeah, I'm not.
And here we are 14 years later. So
that's my wife. I really had to promise some vacations and a lot of time back in LA with her mom during the summer because she doesn't like the heat. I mean, it's not like she's outside digging ditches, but she just doesn't enjoy it. I will tell you, Lisa, the only thing I've not been happy about the move from Southern California to Nevada. Taxes have been great.
Yeah.
The community is great. We have such a better ecosystem of friends up here. Service providers. Like, I don't know what it is about LA where maybe it's just so hustle and bustle and people know there's a million options and, there's bonded people and unbonded people and legal people and illegal people and whatnot. And it's just a better quality of service. And I got to tell you, every service provider we have tried to hire here, from the handyman to the split AC guy to the contractor, has been really lackluster. So maybe I just haven't found the right people yet. But how do you talk to your service providers, right? Because you're like, hey, the HVAC company that we can keep referencing, I'll make you found. Right. I'll get the quality leads, but like, you have to follow through the business side of it.
Exactly, yeah.
So how are you coaching people to be better in the service world? Because like, we have not found a great person.
I think the issue here is because Vegas is growing so much and there's so many things that are building, like not just, we were just at the Venetian yesterday and they're building the Hard Rock Cafe, the Hard Rock Hotel, that good
Giant thing. Yeah.
humongous, right? But also they're building apartments and homes. And so the really good service providers are working with those companies. Right? As they go and they have 50 houses to build, so they're going to do the HVAC. So then you only get left with all the, I don't want to say losers, but not as highly trained people that are doing that. So
yes,
but if they come to us,
you're the first one that's been able to articulate this to me, by the way, which makes sense.
And that's why, because it's growing so quickly and there's so much construction, you can't pay somebody enough. A good person to come and do it.
Getting them all.
Yeah, because the real master craftsmen are all working at the big corporate gates, the hotels.
I mean, it's just, honestly, it's just a lot of through referral.
Mm-hmm.
You've just got to ask a lot of people, was this person good? Did they do a good job?
Yeah.
It's not a perfect science.
Going full circle is why the reviews matter so much.
Exactly. So when somebody comes to us that they want, hey, I want you to help me with my reviews, if we look and they have all 1 stars and negative everything, we're like, dude, we can't, because what we're going to do is we're going to be sending all your customers a request to write a review. And if you screw them all over, they're not going to give you a good review. So first, let's fix your problem, which is you're not delivering. And then once we can see that you're getting good at what you do and people are liking, we have people that they're just not friendly, right? So they're not going to get a good review. So we have to work with that, So first, just because we can fix somebody's issues, they have to be able to deliver. And we're not going to be, our integrity is that we're not going to lie to the public to get a business customers if that business is not delivering what they are promising.
Yeah.
Not delivering on their promise.
So switching gears a little bit to Henderson local, because I've only been here a few years. You guys have been here 14 years. Give me some of your favorite, either businesses, hotspots, restaurants, bars. What are some go-to places that people need to know about, especially if they're moving here?
So we, in our wedding vows, we had the word sushi twice. So if two things for me, we're looking for a mate, was you have to like sushi and you must not smoke. Okay. The must have, the must not, right? So
I'm in on this.
Yeah. So there's a sushi place here called Kaisen on Eastern that is all you can eat, but it's super great quality. And they have like the little punch card when you go there 10 times, you get at least one free and stuff like that. And when here's one thing they're not supposed to do, is when you sit there and you give them a good review on Yelp or whatever, they give you a free beer or something, which Google does not like that because that's called bribing. It's like, I'll send you a gift card if you give it. No. You give me a good review because I did good work and I gave you good food, not because I gave you beer.
I'll take the free beer though.
I'll take it too, especially the sushi. So the food there is amazing.
There's so many good. I mean, there's no shortage here of great places, and we're foodies.
Definitely gained some weight since moving here.
Oh, it's dangerous. It's really dangerous.
One of the things we were told when we first moved here is you could go out every night for a whole year.
Oh yeah,
and never eat at the same restaurant twice.
For sure. We fall in love with the oyster bar, like the the one that's inside Sunset Stations Casino.
Oh, yes, that's
They're
yeah. They
so
have a
good.
great reputation.
Yeah. The soup there, luckily we got in last night actually before the crowd came, but it's just like, it's like the best gumbo clam. I mean, it's just so good. So yeah.
When we first moved here, we were in Southern Highlands and the M Resort's across the freeway. And back then it was 2008 and they had $5 drinks. I mean, 2011, sorry. They had $5 drinks. So we were in a 4,200 square foot house unpacking. So we didn't have our shit together to cook or anything. So every night we'd go in there having dinner and having drinks and then going home and unpacking and having fun. And so their food there, their sushi bar there was amazing. And the guy that was one of the chefs that ended up opening his own sushi bar. But the cool thing was they have really good restaurants in those hotels.
Yeah.
And they're not outrageous like if you're on the strip.
Right. I like the M. They just opened a new wing there. Yeah, the news and they are. Yeah. I can't remember the name of it is. It's a new like Mexican fusion indoor-outdoor restaurant that's by the pool. It's excellent. I went there. You should go. They have some very fancy margaritas that were very good. And they did like a couple movie nights out at the pool for kids over the summer. It's cool. It's like, it's about as family-friendly Vegas as you can get.
Yeah.
With still having a few drinks.
And they have great stuff for locals there too. They do. They always have. But there's so many options, honestly. Like, they're always opening new things.
With all the little coffee shops. I mean, I love Starbucks, but I like going to like
Earth Cafe. Have you been there yet?
Earth Cafe is very good.
Just opened by Green Valley.
URTH.
URTH.
Yeah.
Earth Cafe. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We were really impressed with it.
Yeah, I used to go there for, I think it was their oatmeal cookie or something, because there's one in Pasadena. And I would walk down there and I'd be like, all right, my options are a bigger iced tea at Starbucks for half the price, or I get to get that like oatmeal raisin cookie. And the oatmeal raisin cookie would frequently win. So yeah, I like that. That's a great place.
I'm so really happy with that place.
And there was a place, which was one with a smiley face that's now.
Yeah, the yellow smiley face that's down. It used to be there. Oh my gosh.
What is it called? Anyway,
we'll come up with it.
They just changed, and now it's like a tequila with an E backwards.
Oh,
in that same shopping center right there with a.
Oh, he's Skinny Fats.
Yeah, that's the one. Where Skinny Fats is amazing. Have you been to the?
I've been to the new. It's like tequila taqueria or something like that. Yeah.
That's really good Mexican as well, but also Skinny Fats, which is no longer there, but they have it still.
There's other luxury brands.
So good.
Those are really good. So Skinny Fats is like. The menu is skinny on one side is healthy and the other side is decadent, right?
Yes.
So you can go and do both. And the cool thing is when you go there late at night or pretty much at any time, you have like Cirque du Soleil performers that are there. So there's people that are like super athletes that are there in great shape. And you're like, holy crap, look at these.
Inspirational.
Yeah. Vegas is a great place for people watching. One year, we were at, what was it? Was it the Bellagio? I forget where it was, but it was the National Rodeo. It was the Mr. Olympia.
Or at the Mandalay Bay.
And it was the Porn Star Awards. All those three at the same time. So we were sitting in one of those cafes, right? And you could see the cowboys and
the meathead.
Everybody walking by, young workers. So it was a crack up. Just people watching was like amazing. Of course, they had a few drinks, so that made it even better.
But people watching here is world class.
Fantastic. Yeah.
There's a new Crunch Fitness opening on Lake Mead Boulevard about 8 minutes from here. So it probably will be the closest mega gym close to us, and we'll be signing up there because while I eat and drink all this good food, I've got to get in some cardio. I do a lot of jiu-jitsu, but I'm finally good enough to where I know where to rest, so I'm not getting as much of a cardio workout. And so now I got to get back to the gym and start running or get on the stair climber or something. You guys are both in great shape. What do you guys do for fitness? I mean, I know your background is nutrition, but you obviously drink and like to eat food.
Oh yeah, I used to be a wannabe pro bodybuilder, and she also competed in figure. So there was a bodybuilding show called the Ironman. So yeah, not the Ironman when you run. I run. So I placed second. So it was a national qualifier. But basically, I like to go and lift weights in a gym. She loves to do the Peloton workouts at home.
We have a full gym at our house, so it's my way of working out every day. Like there's no excuses. I have no excuses. I like to mix it up, and I like doing different things all the time. We also have 7 miles of hiking trails right outside our front door, so we don't even have to get in the car.
Nice.
So we like to get outside as much as possible when it's not too hot. But I mix it up all the time. If I can change my workout all the time, I'm perfectly happy. He'll do the same thing that he's been doing since 1978, and he's happy.
So our company is called Do What It Works. Yeah, it works. Yeah, if you know it works, who cares? Our nutrition software is called What Works, custom nutrition software. So here's the trick, though. There's two types of exercise, right? You have aerobic and you have anaerobic. Aerobic exercise can either burn sugar or it can burn fat. And sugar is blood glucose, right? Weightlifting can only burn glucose. It cannot burn fat because you do a set, you rest, you do a set, you rest. So if you're doing both, you want to do a little warm up, lift weights, and then do cardio. Because if you do the cardio first and then try to lift weights, you're going to suck wind because you have burnt up all your... It's kind of like if you have money in your pocket and then you have money in the bank. Cardio can burn either money from the bank or from their pocket. Weightlifting, only money in your pocket. So if you go and you spend that first, then when you try to lift weights, you suck.
All right, so weights and cardio.
And crunch, so crunch is great. The one that I don't like much is Orange Fitness because it's all about high intensity training. There's something called your anaerobic threshold, which it's the ability of delivering oxygen to working muscles. And if you go past your anaerobic threshold, which means that you cannot deliver enough oxygen to working muscles, then you start burning muscle instead of burning fat. So you have to watch your heart rate when you're exercising cardiovascularly so that you don't go too high. Same thing with high interval, it's HIIT workouts, right? If you're too high on that, and I burn 1,000 calories. Yeah, but did they come from fat or did they come from hardened muscle? So you want to keep your muscle and burn fat, right? So you have to watch what your heart rate is, and there's a way to figure out whether you're going above your threshold or not.
We, as I like to do on these podcasts, are bouncing all around. But I want to close this up with a business thought, maybe one from each of you. What is something that your business, or really your suite of products in your business, can do for a business owner that I forgot to ask you?
Oh, great question.
The one answer is automation, but and not just automation, but through automation, it frees them to live the life they wanted, right? Because you didn't get into business to work from sun up to sundown. You got it so you could be your own boss and make enough money to take care of your family and yourself and have a life. And when your business takes over your life, it can disrupt your marriage, it can disrupt your family, it can disrupt all these things. So we love AI because, like, for example, like I was telling you earlier, we had that nutrition certification. We taught nutrition stores, supplement stores, instead of you coming over to buy a $30 bottle of water or protein powder, we taught them, look, instead, sell an 8-week nutrition program. Because if somebody comes to buy a tub of protein, they're going to go, well, why don't I go to Costco and buy it for half price or have Amazon deliver it to my house? So now you're getting the pissing match of my protein's better than your protein. But if you sell an 8-week nutrition program that has the first 4 weeks worth of supplements included, they don't know what the supplements cost. You charge them $1,200 or $655 for a nutrition program. They come into your store weekly to get measured. They're going to buy more stuff. On 5th week, when they run out of stuff, they already got results. So now they don't care that your protein is $5 more. So we solved that problem, but like a good marketer, we created another problem. While they're busy creating a custom nutrition plan for their customer, if the phone rings, they have to decide, do I piss off this customer and go answer the phone, or do I ignore the phone and lose a customer?
Right.
So our AI can now answer that phone, answer frequently asked questions, schedule an appointment with a person on the phone, send them a link to buy whatever the hell they want, while I still take care of the customer in my store. And that's not just with the supplement store, that's with any business, right?
Right.
Because 67 medium to small businesses miss 67% of their phone calls.
Oh, I'm sure.
And right now we live in a society that stands in front of the microwave and says, hurry up.
Right.
So if I call your store and you don't answer, I'm off to the next one.
Yeah, 100%.
So we wanted to instantly answer your phone by AI, or if they hang up, we want to send them a text that says, hey, we're so sorry we missed your call. We're with a customer right now. I'm sure you understand that if you were my customer right now, you wouldn't want me to neglect you. But click on this link right here to schedule a quick 15-minute call, or just send me your questions that you have and I can answer right away. So now that customer goes, holy shit, these people are on it. So if I'm going to do business with somebody, I want to do business with somebody, like you said, that takes care of business, right?
Yeah.
Not the guy that's going to half-ass my HVAC or not clean my carpet like we're supposed to. But if they're answering to me that quickly and I like this guy.
Yeah.
So
It's so funny. Shout out to my friend, Julie. I wanted to get some mugs and hats made and stuff for Henderson HQ. And then I wanted to put a plaque on my kid's toolbox that I bought him for a gift. And I called 5 different places around Vegas. It was the weekend, so they were all closed. Okay, fine. Still waiting to hear back from 4 of them.
Yep.
One of them called me back 3 days later And by that time, I just asked around and luckily found Julie, who's like, oh no, I can do all that stuff. I have a little shop out of my house. And I was like, perfect. I could care less what she charged because she was available on the spot to get me the thing I needed. If any of those other 5 businesses, because now I'm going to go buy another order, the first thing was $12 and then $384. And now I'm going to do like a $1,200 order of hats and stuff. So that one missed call, that business has already lost out on $2,000 worth of revenue. And I'm going to be like a lifelong client of Julie because she answered my phone and got it done.
And not only that, you're going to be referring Julie to every freaking person that's you. Hey, where'd you get that hat? Julie, right?
Exactly.
One of the ways that we get AI customers is I wait till after hours and I'll put in HVAC near me. And I see all the Google listings and I look at the guy that's paying for an ad that says closed. And I call them and I see if they have any automations. If they don't, I call them the next day and I said, did you know that you just lost this much money? So you're paying Google to list you first, but yet you're not answering the phone. If you like, we can help you do that because first I'll ask, what's one job worth to you? How many phone calls do you think you miss? Right? If we were to take, and what's your close ratio? So if you speak to 10 people, how many do you end up being your customer? Well, at least 5 of them, because they always think that they close 50%.
Right, of course.
So if you missed 10 phone calls and a typical job for you is $1,000, you just lost $5,000. Would you like me to fix that for you?
It's a pretty good pitch.
Right, because now I can have my AI answer the phone, or if it's a plumber and it's an emergency, you know that you can charge 10 times more for an emergency call than a regular call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've needed that emergency call before.
Exactly.
Nobody wants shit in their house on the ground.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why these automations with AI are so powerful, because now they can do that for people who don't usually have that set up.
What's something, Lisza, that you guys, problem you solve for businesses that I forgot to ask you?
We really come in and act as their technology side. Like we again, many businesses, they do not need to be worrying about how does the technology work? How does everything work? We want to be partners with them, to help support their business. I would say we come in, we set all of this up, we set up their automations, we have it working the way they want it to work, and we become their partner in this, and we help them get everything set up so that it's running smoothly. It's very, very, it takes very little time. It's just we want to learn about each business. Like I said, our new client, we just signed a new client today, and she was on the phone with us right away, letting us know, like, what is the process that people go through? We ask a lot of questions, what happens when they come into the facility? What's, the storefront? So we just want to learn about the business and then create the best solutions so that as the business owner, you can be there to serve your clients, do the work that you love to do and not get stuck in all the minutia and the other things that, are holding you back from really being able to scale and grow the company. So that's what we do. Yeah. And we simplify it all.
Yeah. It's not just the setting it up. It's also following up with it. So optimizing it, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes people will ask some questions that the owner never even thought they're going to ask.
Right. I love it. Where can everybody find you? What's the easiest way to get in touch?
Easiest way is to go to whatworksacademy.com. And then, of course, if they have a brick and mortar, go to automatedrankingmachine.com.
Awesome. We're going to start working together, and then we'll have you back on to talk about the results.
Cool.
Right. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Hey, it's Scott Groves with the Henderson HQ podcast. I hope you got something out of that episode. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast. It really helps the show grow. And by the way, if you are a business owner or you know a business owner who has an interesting product, service, or just an interesting backstory, please get in touch with us. Email us at thehendersonhq@gmail.com. We would love to interview you because that's what this show is all about. It's about building community, supporting local, individually owned businesses, and just making Henderson a great place to live. And don't forget, go to hendersonhq.com and make sure you sign up for our newsletter. We send out a once-a-week newsletter, no spam, about the most interesting local businesses, hotspots, restaurants, community events. Thanks for watching the show. Really appreciate you.